hold up and document process.
When did the 408 expire?
Oh, I don't believe it's expired. They're on a bridging.
Did the 408 expire yet?
Yeah, so it expired on July 19th.
It's just not long, so wait for that time. Probably happen soon.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, and Rolex's family. What did they get told that?
The begin process on February.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, April 28th.
Yeah.
So until now,
It was lodged on April 28th.
yeah.
And then plus the medicals, everything's good. It's just the waiting process.
Thank you. Don't put back in the boot when you leave, right? Leave it out.
So yeah, just the waiting game.
Yep.
And then we're just wondering about what's the next step once you're on a 482. How do they move to PR process? Questions about PTE.
So everyone's got a skill assessment, yeah?
Yes, everyone's completed it.
Yeah, so to process, to go to the PR, you've got to get past your English test. So there's no time frame on that, but you need a 6 in each band or a 50 in each band of the PTE. Yeah. So 6 in each band of the IELTS or 50 in each band of the PTE. The PTE is probably an easier test if you're okay on a computer, because the writing test is typing. Yeah.
What if you're not good on a computer?
Everyone's not bad on a computer because the phones now are all got the keypad on. In the old days, they remember you had to type AAA, BBB, but every phone now I think has the normal keypads on it, so it's not. People very rarely fail writing on the PTE. They do fail speaking on the PTE because the PTE is a computer-based test, right? So you've got to speak slowly and clearly into a computer, whereas the test for an IELTS test is talking to someone and they assess your English face to face. The reason everyone does the PTE because the IELTS test is a very hard reading test. So the IELTS test is a comprehension test, which means they give you a piece of a story, and you've got to answer questions based on the information there. So you've got to think about the answer to the question based on the information that you've been given. Whereas the PTE test is, you just read the word in front of you into the microphone, even if you don't know what it is, doesn't matter. The IELTS test is, you've got to comprehend what it is and answer a question about it. Plus it's time-based, so it's quite difficult.
Once they get 50% across the 4 areas, how long does it last?
50 points. Score of 50. 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
3 years.
And if they don't get their PR within that 3 years, they need to sit it again. So 3 years. That's better than I thought. I thought it was 2 years.
But you're not going to get your PTE score on
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
It doesn't make any sense because you've already got a skill assessment, so you just need the PTE.
So once everyone's on a 482, they can begin now practicing their PTE, sit their PTE,
Pass it.
pass it, and then what's next for them once they
And then
pass
they apply for a 186.
it? 186.
Yeah.
Yep.
187's gone. So unless you were here in 2018, I think, or 19, the 187's gone.
Okay. And what does this mean?
Well, the 187 had an exemption in English, right? Meaning that if you were there for a certain period of time, no IELTS. That's gone. So whether you go direct entry or transitional means that if you've been there for 2 years, you don't need a skill assessment, but you already have a skill assessment, so you don't have to worry about that. For example, if you were a pressure welder, did anyone come out as a mechanical engineering tech?
Not mechanical engineering.
Technician? No. Sometimes we brought about that, so
So 186 direct entry.
direct entry, that's
Yep.
right.
And what does the 186 entitle them to, or what?
When you apply for your 186, you can apply for Medicare, right? You can get some benefits through there when you apply, not when it's approved. So you can get Medicare, which is which is good, because that means you can stop paying for your private health insurance. So that's, you know, pretty good, so that's good.
186 we need to pass the PTE.
You've got to pass the PTE. Any PRVs, you've got to pass the test.
So it means that 186 is permanent visa.
Permanent visa, yeah.
Right.
So it's a permanent visa.
186 is the PR visa. It's a PR process, 186.
So permanent residency for them, and they can include their families on that as well.
Yep, they can.
Excuse my messy writing.
Is that right?
Okay. And then, how do they become an Australian citizen?
I think you've got to be here for 5 years in total. So including your 482 and then the 3 years on your PR, then you can become a citizen. That would mean you'll get an Australian passport.
So,
Yep, they do. It's 45. So if you already turned, who's Henry? You? If you've turned 45, you're in trouble at the moment. The government did say last year that at the end of this year they're going to take it to 50. Right, so you should be fine.
by the end of this year.
By the end of this year, they're saying they're going to take it to 50.
He's got a section of the second option. His wife is studying cookery. She's here in Australia. She's been told that if she studies cookery, which she's doing in Melbourne, and then gets a sponsor, she can become
482, then a PR.
yeah, and then she can.
The issue that you have there is the minimum salary's gone to 73,150. We're not going to put a learning student on 73. So hospitality in my industry is gone. Unless you're a top chef, no one's paying 73k for a cook. So while it's an option and useful because you'll be able to get a job, to get somebody to sponsor her outright, because by the time she's qualified to go for PR, that minimum salary for labour getting again will be 79 or something. So it's a big problem. So it's good that the wages are going up, but it's not in parity with what's happening on the
Yeah.
So anyway, just keep your fingers crossed that it goes to 50 in at the end of the year.
So Christy might finish her cookery course, but she may not get a job that pays her the minimum of 79,000.
73,150. It's not happening at the moment. Lots of cooking people looking for jobs and you can't get them.
So what will that mean for Henry if it doesn't change to 50? Because his visa runs out in September? 482?
September this year.
March.
On March next
March.
year?
Yeah.
Can he reapply? for
Yeah, there's no age limit on 482. So if it didn't go to 50, you would apply for a 4-year 482. And then you can apply for another 4-year 482. I think it's going. So what is going to happen, there's a thing called a DARMA agreement. So New South Wales has got a lot of DARMAs in place, which is a designated area migration agreement. So it seems like the government wants areas. At the moment there's a skills list for the whole of Australia. It seems like the government wants little skill lists for different areas. On those DARMA agreements, the age limit's usually 55. So there's going to be a couple of options. We'll know in November if you're going to be okay. There's lots of people in your boat, Henry. I think you'll be fine. Last time Labor government got in, they had it at 50, and the Liberal government got in, they took it back to 45. Labor got in and they immediately said, we'll take it back to 50. So they've done it before, I can't see why they would not do it again.
So if any of the boys for some reason decide they don't want to sit their PTE, they can apply for another 4 years, and can that be ongoing until they retire, or there's a limit?
Unlimited or?
No, you can keep going. I've applied for guys that are 55 and got 482, so they went to 59. Look, it's never going to get better than it is right now to get your permanent residency, right? It's never going to get easier. If there's a global crisis, 482s are all sent home. If there's a problem, they're all sent home. If you're a permanent resident and there's COVID, you stay. If you're a 482, you get sent home, right? So the issue with every one of you is thinking, oh, English is a headache, right? Mate, what's a headache if it all turns bad and everyone's sent home? If you go back to the Philippines, you're still going to be on 600 pesos a day, right? So
Do the hard work
for the
now.
future of your family, get your PR. Stop going to barbecues and parties for a couple of months, study English, pass the test, get your PR, then your future's guaranteed. It's always up in the 482 and the 457 are always up in the air. Yeah. So the government has said now that they're raising the salary. They took it from 54 to 70, then to 73. Next year it goes to 76, 79. Filipino thinks that's great. What that means is there's going to be less jobs, right? Because some businesses, especially regional, are not going to employ people at that rate. That's a fact.
We can't afford it.
They wouldn't be affordable. Or I've got a lot of cases at the moment that say, okay, Henry's very good, we're going to keep him, you're gone, keep him, you're gone. Because you're worth 73, you're not worth 73. I've probably got 40 people at the moment that I'm trying to find jobs for in the marketplace because people don't want them at 73. You become a permanent resident, you can work here, you can work at McDonald's, you can work wherever you want to do, you want to change your life, you want to be a cook, you can study, you can do whatever you want to.
For a permanent residency also means their children are eligible to go to university.
Children are eligible to go to university, their children can go to school free, it's all of those things.
But if you stay on a 482, it's hard to afford university because you have to be
You would be
full fee paid.
fully paid.
It's like $20,000 a semester.
And some of that is, some schools, like public schools, make you pay.
Yeah.
That's not great. If you think your future's in Australia, you can all speak English, right? You can all speak and read it, you're just lazy. So you need to spend a couple of months studying it and only speaking English and you will improve very quickly. If you all lived in the same house and you said we're only going to speak English for 3 months, you would know Tagalog, no Tagalog, you would be amazed at how quickly you improve. If you keep speaking Tagalog and Taglish, your English improves like that. If it's just English, it goes like that. Because you can already read every word just about, and you've got a very good vocabulary, and you know all the words.
Just need to practice.
It's-
Stop today. When you go home, no Tagalog, only English.
Don't you get Taglish is, I don't know a word in English, so I'll say it Tagalog, so you never learn any new words, and you never learn your mind to put that word in front of that, because you just go back to Tagalog. It's a bad idea.
Yep.
I've been doing this for 20 years. Every time there's a change, it's never better. Right? It's never cheaper, it's never easier. It never gets easier and it never gets cheaper. When people say there's too many people and there's not enough housing, it's going to get harder. The sooner you get your permanent residency, your future's guaranteed. End of story.
Chris has found an online, it's in the Philippines called Niners.
Yeah.
They do PT English lessons for $100,
Okay.
nice and cheap. Even if you fail the first time you practice, doesn't matter. Do it again, do it again, do it again. Don't give up. You just got to keep going.
Just be careful online. So I've had a couple of cases recently where people have sold people, oh, you can sit the test online, we'll get you the test, and they've been scammed.
Yeah.
You can review online, you cannot do the test
Yeah.
online.